Alright, hi, how's it going? My name's Rick, and this is my studio on the 3rd floor. And those steps kick my butt every time I walk up them. So, apologize for that. Like I said, this is my studio. Got a lot going on, and it's a mess. I do a lot of stuff. Here's a random sampling, some hats, a shirt I did for Solstice, and some posters too, which I'm going to try and make for this video. I'm going to make a poster. These are 11 by 17, and they're done on the risograph, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, got to design this poster, so we're going to go to the computer. So let's go there. All right, here's the computer that I'll use to design this poster. And for inspiration, we're going to use this fist. The software I'm using to do this is called Blender. It's free, and it's really powerful. I recommend it. It's a 3D modeling software, and what I'm doing is modeling the fingers to the fist right now. I prefer to work like this rather than drawing the hand out or doing this in another program like Photoshop or Illustrator, just because once you've modeled something in 3D, you can light it, you can pose it. It just gives you a ton of possibilities. Here I'm working on the thumb, extruding that out, and just tweaking things. And now here's the wrist. Extrude that out, and just going to fix some of the topology in this wrist. Next, I'm adding an environment. There's a floor, and now a backdrop. I'm going to give the fist a color, as well as the background. I'll give that a color. And now it's time to add a light and get an idea of what this is going to look like. And now I'm just going to try out some different stuff. Here I end up adding some color, but decide not to go that route. And next I'm going to add a halo and see what that looks like. Then I'm going to give the halo a glow effect or a bloom. I think this looks pretty cool, but I don't end up using this for the poster. I realized later that this is just too photoreal. There's no way I can screen print this, but I wanted to see if this led somewhere. Here I am texturing the fist. Otherwise, it doesn't have any surface to it. It'll just look plastic. So I'm going to make this look like concrete. Here's another idea I was playing around with, just seeing if I could use certain colors and certain looks. But again, I just don't think I could screen print this. So now I'm in Illustrator. The red background is not doing much for me, so try a gradient here. So I like that better. But, you know, I went through all this trouble of modeling a 3D fist. I don't want to show it head on. I want to show an interesting perspective. So I came up with this perspective, and I added some text, and then I end up extruding the text here, as you'll see. I thought this might be something I could add to the gradient background, and here it is laid out. I'm going to get ready to print this and take the next step to screen printing this. Just separating out the layers there, and I'm going to clean up this edge that's left at the bottom. I don't want that, so I'm going to mask that out. All right, time to print this. So, this is the weapon of choice here. This is the GR3770 risograph. This is like a mimeograph on steroids. The image you just saw me print out on the digital printer, I will use to make a stencil using this machine. That's the drum, the color drum inside. You put ink into that drum. As you can see, I've got fluorescent pink in there right now. On the top unit here is a scanning bed, and this is where I'll lay the digital print down, and I'll make a scan of it using this top bed. Here are the three printouts that I'm going to use to make screens or stencils, and these two here are gradients. So I'm going to grab this middle one here, this gradient, and put this on the top of the risograph, and the risograph is going to scan this image. I've got marks on the top to line up with what's shown on the top of the risograph there. Just as a template I came up with to keep things in line. And once that's in line, I close the lid and I hit the button to scan it and to make a master or a stencil. And here's the sound of the risograph in all its glory. Enjoy. So it's a great machine. It saves me a lot of time. But however, it's not working. It's not taking paper in. So I'm trying to come up with a solution here. I'm removing this stencil, and I'm going to use this stencil in a map and try and push ink through it. Hopefully this works. I've never done this before, but I'm going to try and make my own screen, because this machine isn't working. And you can see, as I hold this up, you can sort of see the image that's burned into this paper. So I'm going to tape this to a map board. And fingers crossed this works. I'm going to take some yellow ink and use it as a test run here to see what I've got. I did a few test prints, and the results, as you can see, there's no definition. It's solid. So that means I get to do this all over. that's not what I'm after. So I get to do this whole process over again. And yeah. So I'm going to save the map boards, but I'm going to have to reburn the screens. All right. This is attempt number 2. This is the gradient part 1. Here's another gradient. I decided to do a mint to yellow gradient. So here's the mint ink. And then the final layer here, this is the black ink. So there's the 3 stencils. And here are the results. This is the first color, the yellow. The mint. Here are the 2 combined. And this is the black layer solo, and then this is all 3 layers combined for the poster. I hope you like it. I hope you found this interesting. And thanks for watching.